All right, you with the urban sports scene, Ray Rogers, Wole and Kenzo, now part of Black Sports Insiders, and we are joined by a special guest who is no stranger to our show. He's a great friend of the show, actually. Norfolk State men's basketball head coach Robert Jones. Thanks for your time, as always, Coach.
What's up? What's up, fellas? How y'all?
Hey,
Good,
all
man.
is
Good.
well. All is well. So you know how we do. Before we get into the serious stuff, we like to ask some fun questions, and I want to just begin with. Are you like the Jake Shuttlesworth type of parent, or are you like, I guess, LeVar Ball? Because you now are like the second best basketball player in your family, I guess. With your son Justin on the come up, but maybe you still got a better Jay. How's that situation looking like now in the house? Is it a rivalry yet?
Oh, when after I ice my knee, it's not a rivalry. I'm still the best basketball player in the house. If I don't ice my knee, then he might get me. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, as far as like parenting, what's been working for me is that I never like forced him to play basketball. You know, so I always said that I wanted him to play when when he wanted to. You know, now sometimes in hindsight, do I contradict myself every now and then? Yeah, probably, because like I wish that I did force him a little bit more, because like he is on a good path with what he's doing. You know, he's a junior. He got some college offers. We got more offers than I had at that point in my life. So I was like, man, maybe if I would have forced him like maybe 2 years older, because he didn't really start playing until he was like 9.5 years old, almost 10 years old. So it's like maybe if I'd have forced him to play like when he was like 7 or something like that, maybe things would be different. But hey, everybody runs their own race, everybody got their own path, and he's on a solid path for what he's on, and I wish him continued success.
That always goes a certain way. Like my nephew plays, he hoops now. He's like 6, even hoops is 5. Okay. So it's always tricky. You know what I mean? I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like certain kids, like you can try to train them as early as possible, but sometimes I feel like 10's a good time. You know what I mean? Or 11's a good time. I think people overthink that whole process of, all right, let's get them early, and then eventually they'll be like Kyrie Irving at age like 13 or something like that. People are like, don't get me started on all that. But yeah, people are wild.
The thing with basketball, man, is that basketball is a sport that you can kind of catch up quickly.
Exactly.
Because like you can play basketball or get better by yourself. You know, you could go get a hoop, at a park and just shoot all day, and eventually your jumper is going to be better. You know, right. So you can catch up to a certain extent. But I do think that game experience is something that sometimes you might lack, because every day is like, the older you start, it's like people have more game experience on you, but as far as skill, you can catch up with skill relatively quickly in basketball.
Yeah, totally agree. So has he beat you one-on-one yet?
Yeah. He'll probably be happy to hear me say that too. But he got me. He got me a few times. I ain't gonna lie. He got me a few times. One time I was like, "Damn, you're a little faster than I thought you were." Like, he was like, "Maybe I'm a bit older." So so he got me though. He got me.
Cool.
Yeah, see, that's why I asked, because I seen the J online. I was like, I don't know what type of game coach brings to the table. You look like a Barkley type, but he got the shooting guard, just the form and it all. I'm like, yeah, he's on his way. So yeah, I'm excited.
He can shoot, man. That's the one thing I tell him, that in this modern day game, is that if you can't shoot, man, you're not worth nothing really out here, man. It's like shooting is almost better than be able to handle the ball, because you're gonna find somebody to handle the ball, but you can't find a lot of guys who could knock down an open catch and shoot. So if you can find those guys, you could play anywhere in the world if you can shoot. You know what I mean? So we talk about shooting a lot. So
that's cool. So my second question, and we'll get into the serious stuff, is if you could tell 18-year-old Robert Jones that he was going to be in the Norfolk State Athletics Hall of Fame, what would 18-year-old Robert Jones have responded with?
For what? Or what would be in there for? It's like that would have been the answer, because I had no desire to be no basketball coach, man. I had no desire to do that. That wasn't like the furthest from my radar. Even like I hear like little kids, like even like my sister coaches have like sons, and like you'll see them actually drawing on the chalkboard plays and stuff. So you can already see like kind of like coaching is in the back of their mind already as a young kids, even though of course they want to play, but it's in the back of their mind somewhere. For me, coaching was never in the back of my mind, man. I'm like, man, I'm gonna play till I can't play no more, and after that we'll go get a job somewhere else doing like, something. So to be able to be in a Hall of Fame, one as a player, two as a coach, and actually that was a coach from that 2012 team. So I was really an associate head coach on that. So it was like the Hall of Fame committee there, they was joking with me. It was like, yo, we'll see you in another couple of years for like the head coaching Hall of Fame. So like to potentially go into the Hall of Fame 2 times at one place and then 1 time as a player, then maybe the MEAC Hall of Fame one day, stuff like that is like, man, I ain't never think about none of that stuff, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and say, no, I didn't see none of that coming. So it's like humbling to be honored as one of the best of the one of the best of the best. So that's humbling. That's an honor that I don't take for granted, and it's a great honor to have.
That resume, you just made that resume seem thorough. Jeez, you saw the MEAC Hall of Fame as an assistant and head coach, Brian. You doing it?
That's why kind of made that post the other day. Is that like really when you're in the moment, just like there's a lot of accomplishments that I guess I have that I don't even think about. Like people on my SID would tell me, well, you have this, many compared to the rest of the league or rest of the coaches in the world or whatever. I'm like, really? You don't, what I mean? Like, because it's like you don't think about it. You just trying to be the best you can be. And I guess if you keep trying to do that, then those accolades will come with the work that you put in to try to be the best you can be. Like I don't go out and set out to try to be coach of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not like my thing. Like I set out to be like the best possible team, and usually the best possible team gets a lot of different awards, whether it's player of the year, coach of the year, this, that, and third. So that's usually my goal every year, man. So that's me being in the moment. But then when you step back, you're gonna look at, like you said, like, well, damn, maybe my resume isn't that bad, but you don't really think about it when you're in the moment, because you can't. Because I think the moment you think about it is the moment your resume goes down, in my opinion.
All right, well, Coach, one thing that's contributed to you and being in your position, again, congratulations on being inducted into the Norfolk State Athletics Hall of Fame, is the way that you coach your players and teach your players. And we all are well aware of the incident that took place in December at Illinois State. There was a victory for your team where one of your players had a racial slur directed at them. Of course, that incident is now 9 months removed. You've had more time to reflect. I know you kind of try to move on as a program, but looking back, is there anything that you would do differently? Are you in a different mindset in terms of how, maybe you would communicate with that coach? And then how does that impact your mindset as well in road environments and in some other schools or other arenas?
Well, I think one of the biggest things I always think about, man, is that I'm happy that, I'm not happy this didn't happen at all, but I'm happy that it happened when I'm a little older because like, I think that my younger mindset, I wouldn't have been, even though it didn't seem like I was that calm, I was really like in total control of my emotions, like during that situation. What I mean? I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew exactly what I said, stuff like that. I think like when you're younger, your mind, you could be a wild boy, and that situation could turn out totally different, which would have now probably led to, my career being different after that game and things like that. So I think that's the first thing. So that's a blessing for the man above that, it didn't happen when I was 33. It happened when I was 44. So it's a totally different mindset that I have. I think also the thing is that from like everything that happened with that, this is the first time we talked about that, like you said, in months, because we do want to move on. It's a whole new season coming up, but I do think that the guys who are a part of that situation, they'll never forget that situation. Because the one thing I said that made me so mad about the situation was that, there's still stuff out there. You would be naive to think that, the world is just this place full of white picket fences and things like that. But you don't really encounter it. I don't encounter it on a day-to-day basis. At least I don't encounter direct racism on a day-to-day basis. I wanted to sit here and say I do. I rarely do, honestly. On a direct situation. So to see that happen is like, damn. You think you came so far, but you really haven't come as far as maybe you thought that you've come. And that was probably the most disappointing about that situation that happened. And I know, they had the investigation afterwards, which we declined to be a part of, because what I said was like that first of all, you have an investigation like 2 months after it happened. You know, everybody, including Illinois State, everybody's going to move into their season and into their conference play. They're trying to worry about something totally different. So what do you want me to do with this investigation? Because really, whatever I say to you or whatever I do, like, and I hate to say because I don't want things to seem like it's like a conspiracy theory, but it's like, are you really going to tell on yourselves? Like, are you really going to do that? Are you really going to say, okay, yes, this incident happened? Most of the time you see these investigations happen and it's always, oh, well, that didn't happen, and stuff like that. So like, no, I was there. I've coached over 300 games in my 400 games almost in my time at Norfolk State, and no one has ever seen me react like that.
Exactly.
So if it was something that was like fabricated or made up, then why I'm going to make it up at Illinois State? Like, why I'm going to do it at Illinois State? Like, why I'm going to all of a sudden 400 games in my career have a blow up with a coach that I don't even know. I don't even know that guy. Why would I do it in a game that we were winning from start to finish? So it's like people who say it didn't happen or whatever, or because the investigation, after the investigation came out that, they couldn't find any findings of these people or whatever. Well, I mean, the crowd wasn't mic'd up. I mean, like, the crowd wasn't mic'd up. So it's like, of course you can't literally find any evidence of that because, I'm in this Division I institution. Yeah, we got cameras everywhere, but there's no sound on those cameras. So it's like, you don't know what somebody, said or did. And once again, like, I just go back to like, like, oh, I know what I'm saying. The thing, it came out and all of a sudden my Twitter's blown up again. Like, dude, you lied, you did this, you that, whatever. And stuff. Like, come on, dog. Like, let's be sensible now. Like, once again, I've coached almost 400 games at Norfolk State. No one has ever seen me react like that. We were winning the game from start to finish. So it's not like a situation that we will make an excuse for losing. We were winning from start to finish. And that happened. Like, if you have any common sense, you could put together stuff. I mean, people watch enough Law and Order shows and forensics. Put together the evidence. Like, come on. So it was actually comical, like that people did that. I read the comments. I didn't respond to nobody.
Yeah.
I just kind of laughed, and I just really said, like, I laughed, but I also took back, like, yeah, this is what society really is. That people think that we going around doing that. Nah, man. I got better things to do in my life than make up a racial incident and go and have a heated encounter on ESPN. Like, come on now, what we doing?
Coach, thank you for joining us. We actually out of time. So we gonna have to interview you again because of course we want to get to this upcoming season. I know your scheduling is done. You're excited about this group. And by the way, the times for your players on that mile, man, was crazy. But anyway, we'll have you back on. We appreciate you, of course. Like I said, we're taking the time. And good luck this upcoming season, Coach. And congratulations again on all your accomplishments.
Anytime you need me, man, I'm here for you. So we'll just figure it out.
I appreciate you. Definitely.
Yep.
All right, Coach. All right.